नमस्कार, इनगोआ बातमीपत्रात आपलं स्वागत। सुरुवातीला पाहूया राज्यातल्या महत्त्वाच्या घडामोडी। गोव्याचा अर्थसंकल्प सादर करण्यापूर्वी मुख्यमंत्र्यांना या संदर्भात निवेदन देण्याचा निर्णय गोवा चेंबर ऑफ कॉमर्सने घेतलाय। या संबंधी जीसीसीआय सभागृहात मंगळवारी आयोजित केलेल्या बैठकीला अध्यक्ष मांगिरीश पै रायकर यांनी संबोधन केलं।
Which we have submitted to Mr. Parrikar yesterday and had a discussion with him. First of all, I would like to state that what we have asked for is, having regard to the current situation, the chamber has decided not to make any request for reduction in any of the existing taxes or the rates. The current ban on mining activity is having a huge socio-economic impact on the state. Industry stands by the government's efforts to help the large number of people affected by the ban to tide over the crisis. In fact, there is an ample scope for government to increase both the tax and non-tax revenue. You will ask me how. One is by widening the tax base, and second is plugging revenue leakages. Although there are, it is said that they have been trying to do so, there are several ways the leakages are still happening, and we have given the how it could be done. And there is one final thing is to the what is not coming in can be definitely given out, right? Without any loss to the government. So if you want new industries, if you want new employment generation, if you want further increase in the revenue, the only way to attract them is to give them NPV benefit, that is net present value benefit, in terms of sales tax, where government will not lose anything because they are not getting anything right now. So that is what we have suggested. We need to have Contract Farming Act introduced in the state immediately, because what has happened is small and marginal farmers, they are not cultivating their farms. Basically, the reason is they are afraid that if they allow some people to till it, then it becomes a tenanted land and they would lose it. So they are not going for the cultivation, and we are losing out on cultivation. So we have requested government to come out with the Contract Farming Act as it is in the north, and because of which the Punjab, Haryana sector are booming with agriculture. I think Goa also can come to that level, because there are a lot of lands which are left without cultivation. We have also said about the mining. The unregulated growth in mining has led to large-scale illegal mining and long-term damage to the Goa's fragile ecosystem. With the intervention of Supreme Court, the entire mining operation have been stopped for time being. Even when regulated, the legal mining begins, we expect the volumes to be less than 40% of the peak mining operations. This will mean that a large number of people in mining and mining related activities would lose their jobs and substantial loss of revenue. The spare capacity in the form of trucks, barges, mining machinery and other infrastructure that were created by the illegal mining operations will have its own impact on the state. And what we suggest is to have an alternate means of business by way of promoting Goa to be a trade hub. And as we all know, there is a cabinet decision of the central government which has been taken that Dabolim will continue to work. So that cabinet decision stands because it is taken by the in the presence of the Prime Minister himself, and it's a sort of a promise to the state.
महिला उद्योजकांना लघु उद्यम श्रेणीत स्थान देण्यासाठी गोवा चेंबर ऑफ कॉमर्स तर्फे दरवर्षी अस्तुरी प्रदर्शनाचं आयोजन करण्यात येतं। महिला उद्योजकांना योग्य व्यासपीठ उपलब्ध करून देण्याच्या उद्देशाने या प्रदर्शनाचं आयोजन करण्यात येतं। पणजीतील आझाद मैदानावर भरवण्यात आलेल्या यंदाच्या प्रदर्शनाचं उद्घाटन मुख्यमंत्री मनोहर पर्रीकर यांच्या हस्ते करण्यात आलं।
I think some commercial help is required.
Government is also thinking in that direction. Thank you, sir.
अस्तुरी आमी विमेन्स विंग गोवा चेंबर ऑफ कॉमर्साचे 2005 साकून आमी स्टार्ट केल्लें आनी आतां आमकां तुमी पळयलाच आसतलें हांगा प्रतिसाद भरपूर मेळटा आनी ते आमचें एकूच एम हातून एकूच उद्देश की तांणी बायलांनी आपल्या पांयार उबें रावचें आनी तांकां आमी जाता तितलें आमच्या तरेन आमी हेल्प करता तांकां EDP प्रोग्राम्स तांकां आमी दुसरें ते ट्रेनिंग्स टाय एंड डाय ताजेर दिता पण आतां हें आमी कित्याक केलें काय म्हळ्यार आमी पळयलें की ती प्रोडक्शन करता पूण तांकां मार्केट नासता पूण आमी तेन्ना आमी गांवांनी वतालीं तेन्ना आमी चिंतलें की आमी हांच्या खातीर एक खंय तरी एक जावं एक 4 दीस
Underprivileged parts of our societies deserve the same level of attention, maybe even more, from us to take the humankind to a better place where it is today.
राज्यातील पर्यावरणवाद्यांच्या विरोधात मुख्यमंत्री चिथावणीपूर्व भाषण करून जनतेला भडकावत असल्याचा आरोप प्राध्यापक रमेश गावस तसंच क्लाउड अल्वारिस यांनी केलाय। या संदर्भात त्यांनी राज्यपाल भरतवीर वांचू यांची भेट घेऊन त्यांना सुरक्षेसंबंधी निवेदन दिलं। मुख्यमंत्र्यांच्या भडकाऊ भाषणेचे विपरीत परिणाम पर्यावरणवाद्यांना भोगावे लागत असून मडगाव येथील प्रकार याचंच उदाहरण असल्याचं रमेश गावस यांनी सांगितलं।
The whole thing is included in this written submission before His Excellency Governor of Goa, and we express very clearly and very emphatically that this is the position which is happening in Goa. The Home Minister, who is supposed to protect the law and order situation and care for the law and order situation, is utterly failing on his duties and making provocative statements against all the environmentalists who are fighting against the devastations of the mining lobby. And then again, what is important is that being CM, he is making in the public statements, in the public meetings, that the persons who are responsible should be taken for the task. It is a very severe provocative language any person could use being in a position of a CM. But it is happening in Goa. We brought to the notice of His Excellency Governor of Goa. In that case, he also gave some of the tips that we need to be very cautious about wherever we move out. Governor also gave us some of the tips that he is an ex-police officer, so that's why he knows nook and who can crook and everything, nook and corner of everything. So he knows what can happen and what could happen. So he said we need to be also cautious, and he's that way he did not express his. I would say that he was not happy with this kind of the things happening in the state. So anyway. It seems that he is not happy with what is that happening, and responses which are coming up from the head of the government, administrator. So we request him to look into the matter, and we did not pleaded on behalf of either me or Dr. Claude. We pleaded on behalf of all the people, environmentalists, all the people who are fighting against the mines, all the people who are aggrieved and therefore they oppose all the mining lobby. So this is in fact basically on behalf of all those people who have been launching agitations or fight against mining since last 10 years. If it can happen against Claude, if it can happen against Mr. Ramesh Gaus, the way the Margao episode took place, it is very clear indication that there is no law and order situation in Goa. This is what I have made a categorical statement, that a mob of 500 turn out to Margao, a small group meeting, 500 people coming to attend the meeting, and there is no police force enough to tackle it. I would give a clear example that when the Arvalpal people, because of the mining, got aggravated and came down to Panji, without any intimation to the police, the hundreds of the police were waiting on the other side of the bridge with bulletproof jackets, ladies and gents. There were around 500 police force employed. There during that time, nobody filed a complaint or gave any intimation that we are going to come to Panji for agitation. But here was the same case. A mob of 500 people comes up, but nobody knows about it, cannot be accepted. It means that there is a total failure of the machinery or the administration of the state government.